All right, let's talk about our latest named storm. When I say latest, I mean latest. This just came out 2 minutes ago. Here we have Tropical Storm Gabrielle. It has been officially named by the National Hurricane Center. Winds of 45 miles per hour, pressure at 1,006 millibars. Now, if we look at satellite imagery, it doesn't look really organized, to be quite frank with you. But I was just, while we were rolling that little package there, I was just looking at what we call ASCAT imagery. Basically, I wish I could pull up the graphic here, but I can tell you, basically satellite-derived winds. We have a polar orbiter satellite that goes around the Earth from north to south. So polar orbiter, and it takes winds based on the wave motion and their direction over the ocean. So you can only get this wind kind of estimation over the ocean. It's a really cool piece of technology from NOAA here, one of our satellites. And I was just looking at it. There is a broad field of winds about 30 to 40 knots. You need 35 knots for a tropical storm. And we have this closed off low-level circulation, albeit the convection's not terribly organized. It is a tropical storm at this time. So, yeah, and let's take a look actually at this is once again the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center right here, showing this intensifying slowly over the next few days. And I say slowly, maintaining 50, 60 miles per hour as we go ahead through Wednesday, Thursday, and into Friday. Now, it could hit an environment more favorable for tropical cyclone intensification by the end of the week heading into the weekend. And that's as it moves towards some warmer sea surface temperatures, which are currently located there just towards the north and east of Hispaniola, north of the Windward Islands as well. You can see that threshold out there, about 80 to 85 degrees. So right now it is in an area relatively conducive for tropical cyclone development, but it's definitely going to be more conducive further towards the west. It also will be moving away from an area of drier air. We're always talking about the Saharan dust, right? And you can see just on the northern periphery of it, it definitely has some dry air trying to wrap in. But I think this is going to fight it out. And as we look ahead through Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday, you can see here, especially, let's look ahead to Sunday and Monday. It starts based on all our spaghetti plots here, different models, showing that it kind of burst away from that dry air. And once it gets away from that dry air, enters an area of warmer sea surface temperatures, it's going to be hooked up into that environment that will allow for that further intensification of this storm system. Based on the official forecast, we're looking at a strong tropical storm to maybe a Category 1 hurricane, possibly near Bermuda. So for the East Coast, I'm not overtly concerned about this impacting, mainly because it is forming a little bit further towards the north here, and you're expecting to make that turn towards the north. Plus, you have a dip in the jet stream. So you can see this dip, albeit it is going to create some showers for parts of southeastern areas in the United States, including the first coast here. What will happen is that basically acts as a wall. So any system that wants to develop off here towards the west is going to hit this. And just think of like a tributary or getting into a river here. It's just going to hit that and get shoved off towards the north and east. Boom, zoom right off. That's why we call it the jet stream, right? That should basically act as a wall, as our chief meteorologist, Lewis Turner, who just stepped out here to kind of update all this stuff, said just a few minutes ago. It's basically like a force field. It stops this and kind of kicks it off towards the north and east. So nothing I'm overtly concerned about here across the eastern half of the United States. For our friends in Bermuda, though, you can see just on the bottom part of this jet stream here is Bermuda, and that would, in theory, kind of mean that it would run right over that island out there, but staying well towards the east. One thing that we would want to watch out for is waves. All right, so even if it was a Cat 1 in 500-600 miles out towards the east, you still would be looking at some large swells coming off of this. So this is showing by next Tuesday, that would be, I said 500-600, it's more closer to 1,000 miles based on this particular guidance, Wave Watch 3. That is the U.S. Navy's model for forecasting wave heights. Based on this, that would be nearly 1,000 miles towards the east, but you would get those long swells, kind of the energy from the storm pushing out from it. And that always is worrisome worrisome because those swells can come on shore with a lot of force, and for people that may not be good swimmers, it can catch them off guard with that risk. But for surfers, long period swells without a lot of wind means good surf. You just have to know where to swim and stay away from those rip currents. So I think that's going to be one of the bigger issues with this based on the current forecast and the current track. So once again, we have Tropical Storm Gabrielle has been named by the National Hurricane Center as of the 11 a.m. update. Yeah, you can see right here the next storm on the list. Well, that one's going to be Humberto if we come to that. We are watching another area actually behind Gabrielle that could be coming off of the west coast of Africa. At this time, that is still given a low chance, 10% in the next 2 days, 20 in the next 7 days. So it's one of those where it's like we're watching it. Nothing screams development, but it's an area of convection in a region that could be conducive for tropical cyclone development. But at least at this time, this one now a tropical storm, Gabrielle. If you're just tuning in, winds of 45 miles per hour, pressure at 1,006 millibars, moving towards the north and west at 22 miles per hour. So actually at a fairly decent forward pace with this one. And pressure isn't that low. My point is it's not the most organized, but it is slowly going to get its act together, likely over the course of the next few days. I wouldn't expect rapid intensification with this one for the time being, but we're definitely going to keep a close eye on it over the upcoming days here at First Coast News. If you want more information, check out firstcoastnews.com/Hurricane Central. That's where we got all of our graphics at. We got some more analysis, and we're going to continue to post those updates for you here as well. So yeah, thanks for jumping in here. I'm meteorologist Robert Speta. Hey, if you have any questions, shoot me a message here at First Coast News. You can check me out on social media or at rspeta@tegna.com, or even Lewis Turner here as well if you'd rather talk to him. All right, as always, thanks for watching and stopping by, and I hope everyone stays safe out there as we continue to monitor Tropical Storm Gabrielle.